Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class, we were discussing about origin and evolution of universe. And we have completed our discussion till last two epochs of the radiation era. And friends, in the last class, I have also told you that in the beginning, universe was opaque. Okay, so I told you in the last class that in the beginning, universe was opaque. Now friends, what is the meaning of this statement that in the beginning universe was opaque? So it means that in the beginning universe was not transparent. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that in the beginning universe was not transparent. Now what does it mean? It means that opaque means when light is not travel to when light is not able to travel through it. Now what does it mean? So I will give you an example. So friends, let's suppose that this is a room. Okay, so let's suppose that this is a room and these all are the four walls of the room. Now there is a person standing in this room. Okay, so he is a person who is standing in this room. Now friends, these walls are made up of bricks and stones. Now definitely it is a common sense that now you will say that sir, this person will not be able to see throughout this wall. Means this person will not be able to see that what is happening here, what is happening here. Okay, why? Because this person cannot see throughout this wall. And why? Because this wall is opaque. And opaque means light cannot travel throughout this wall. Okay, so what is the meaning of opaque? Opaque means if light cannot travel throughout something. Okay, if light cannot travel across something, then that thing is opaque. For example, this wall is opaque. So as this wall is opaque, so light cannot travel across this wall. So as light cannot travel across this wall, so this person is not able to see that what is happening this side, means what is happening to the other side of the wall. Okay, so what is the meaning of opaque? Opaque means something which is not transparent. Something which is not transparent means if light cannot travel across that object. Okay, means you are not able to see throughout, you are not able to see across that object. Okay, so what is the meaning of opaque? So opaque means something which is not transparent. Okay, opaque means when light is not able to travel across an object. Now friends, my question is that why the early universe was opaque. Okay, so what is our question? So our question is that why the early universe was opaque. So now I will give you the answer of this question. So friends, let's suppose that this is the early universe. What is this? This is early universe. Now friends, I have already told you that the temperature of early universe was very high. Okay, the temperature of early universe was very high. Moreover, the energy in the early universe was also very high. Okay, so there was very high amount of energy flowing in the universe. Moreover, the temperature of universe was also very high. Now friends, let's suppose that this is an hydrogen nucleus. Okay, so this is a hydrogen nucleus. Hydrogen nucleus means this is the nucleus of hydrogen atom. Now friends, as we all know that nucleus is made up of protons. Okay, so nucleus is made up of protons and protons are positively charged. Okay, so nucleus is made up of protons and protons is positively charged, so the nucleus is also positively charged. Okay, so if this is the nucleus of hydrogen atom, so this is also positively charged. Now friends, let's suppose that this is one electron. Okay, now friends, I have just told you that in the early universe temperature was very high and also energy was also very high. So this electron was highly charged, means this electron was having large amount of energy associated with it. Okay, so the amount of energy associated with this electron was very high. Okay, so as this electron was supercharged, as this electron was having very high energy associated with it, so this electron was traveling in the universe at a very high speed. This electron was traveling in the universe at a very high speed, and this large amount of energy associated with the electron was not allowing the electron to combine with the hydrogen nucleus. Okay, this large amount of energy associated with the electron was not allowing the electron to combine to join with the hydrogen nucleus. Okay, so this was the scene in the early universe. So friends, as all the electrons were free means they were not combined with the nucleus. So as all the electrons were free, so the early universe was actually filled with the electrons. Early universe was actually filled with the electrons. Now friends, so let's suppose that this is the early universe and these all are the electrons. Now friends, let's suppose that this is a photon particle. Now what is photon? So photon means a packet of energy or a packet of light. Okay, so here you just understand that photon means a packet of light. So what is photon? Photon means light. Okay, now friends, we all know that light travels in straight line. Okay, so how light travels? Light travels in a straight line. So now let's suppose that this photon particle is traveling. Okay, now friends, I want to tell you one more thing, that it is the fundamental property of the charged particles. Okay, it is the fundamental property of the charged particles. For example, electrons have negative charge on them. Okay, the hydrogen nucleus has positive charge on it. Okay, so it is the property of the charged particles that they interact with the photon particles. It is the fundamental basic property of the charged particles that these charged particles actually interact with the photon particles. Photon particles means the packet of lights. Okay, and electrons are the particles which interact with the photon particles the most. Means electrons interact with photon particles more than any other charged particle. Okay, so friends, now let's suppose that this photon particle wants to travel. Friends, here I want to say something, that many students are from non-science background. So here I will not use any technical or scientific word. Here I will try to make you understand with the help of very easy example. Okay, so that even the students from non-science background can easily understand it. Okay, so here I will not take the name of any heavy scientific word. I will not take the name of any technical word. Okay, I will simply explain you the process with the help of this very simple example. So let's suppose now this photon particle wants to travel. So this photon particle will travel in a straight line. Okay, now there is an electron. So this photon particle will collide with this electron. Okay, so what will happen? That this photon particle will collide with this electron, and when this photon particle will collide with this electron, so this electron will interact with this photon particle, and this electron will simply change the direction of this photon particle. Okay, or in the other word we can say that electron will scatter the photon particle, or electron will scatter the light. Okay, so what electrons will do? Electrons will scatter the light. So now let's suppose photon particle is in this direction. Again it is collided with another electron. So now let's suppose this photon particle is moving in this direction. Again it is collided with one electron. So this electron will also change the direction of photon particle. Now photon particle is moving in this direction. Then photon particle is moving in this direction. Then photon particle is moving in this direction. Then let's suppose this electron changed the direction of photon to this direction, and again it is collided with this electron. So are you getting what is happening? So actually the photon particles or the light get trapped. Okay, actually the light was trapped in the cloud of electrons. Why? Because actually you have to remember that in last class I told you that the early universe was not as big as it is today. Moreover, the early universe was also very dense. Dense means it was very dense. The density of the universe was very high. Okay, so and the universe was filled with these electrons. Universe was actually filled with these electrons, and the density of these particles was also very high. So what happened, that when light tried to travel, when light tried to move, okay, or the photon particles tried to move, so every time photon particle is trying to move in any direction, so every time photon particle is colliding with an electron, and that electron is actually changing the direction of photon particle, and that electron is scattering the photon particles. And due to the high amount of scattering, why there was high amount of scattering? So the scattering was very high because the density of the electrons was very high. Okay, electrons were so closely packed. Okay, there were many electrons were so closely packed. The density of the electrons was very high. So whenever any photon particle tried to move, or whenever light tried to move, so this light get highly scattered. This light get highly scattered by these electrons, and finally this light got trapped under in the cloud of these electrons. Okay, so this light got trapped in the cloud of these electrons. So what happened? The universe became opaque. Opaque means, okay, so in the beginning, just remember I told you what is opaque. Okay, so opaque means something through which light cannot travel, and this is the reason why I explained you the meaning of opaque in such a detail. Okay, so what is opaque? Opaque means something through which light cannot travel freely. So what was happening in early universe? So in early universe, light was not able to travel freely, and due to which it was not possible to see anything in the early universe. Why? Because we can see due to light. Okay, so it was impossible to see in the early universe. Why? Because light was scattered. Light was highly scattered by the electrons, and finally these photon particles get trapped in the cloud of electrons, and this was the reason why this early universe was opaque. Now friends, here one more thing I want to tell you, and that thing is that this type of state of matter is known as plasma state. Okay, so this type of state of matter is known as plasma state. Plasma state means when matter is superheated. Okay, plasma state means when matter is superheated. So what happens? That all the electrons gets ionized. Okay, all the electrons get ionized means, for example, let's suppose this is hydrogen atom. So this is hydrogen atom. Okay, and let's suppose this is the electron of hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is the electron of hydrogen atom, and this is the nucleus of hydrogen atom. So this is nucleus and this is electron. Now friends, when you will heat it, okay, when you will heat it, okay, and when you heat it to that extent that the electron is ionized from the atom. Electron is ionized from the atom means electron is actually detached from the atom. Electron is actually moved away from the atom. Okay, so when electron will ionized from the atom, so what will happen? That you will get the hydrogen nucleus and electron will be moved away from the atom. Okay, so when the matter is heated so high, okay, means when matter is superheated, so what happens? That all the electrons are actually ionized from the neutral atoms. All the electrons are ionized means get separated from the neutral atoms. So what we get is the soup of electrons and the positively charged nucleus. Okay, and this type of state of matter is known as plasma state. Okay, so this is, what is this? This is a matter, this is a supercharged matter. Okay, means what happened due to heat? So due to very high amount of energy, due to heat, what happened? That all the atoms of hydrogen are ionized. All the electrons from the neutral hydrogen atoms are ionized. Means now all the electrons are removed from the neutral hydrogen atom. So what is there? So there are electrons as well as there are positively charged hydrogen nuclei. So this state of matter is known as plasma state. Okay, and this is the reason, friends, why the plasma state is opaque. So why plasma state is opaque? Plasma state is opaque due to the high amount of charged particles present in the plasma state. Okay, so whenever light want to travel through any plasma state, any particle in the plasma state, then what happens? That these positively charged particles and if we talk more precisely, then these electrons scatter the light, and light actually get trapped in this particle. Okay, so this particle is actually, so plasma state is actually opaque for the light. So early universe was in the plasma state. Okay, so what is plasma state? Plasma state means when you will heat the matter. Okay, and when matter gets superheated, so what will happen? That all the neutral atoms will get ionized. Means electrons will move away from the neutral atoms. So what will we get? We will get electrons, free electrons, as well as positively charged nucleus. Okay, and this type of matter is known as this type of state of matter is known as plasma state. Okay, and why plasma state of matter is opaque? So the plasma state of matter is opaque because if light wants to travel through any particle which is in plasma state, then what happens? That these electrons scatter the photon particles. These electrons scatter the light. Okay, and due to very high scattering, what happens? That this particle which is in plasma state, the matter which is in plasma state, it becomes opaque. Means light cannot travel freely throughout that. So friends, you have to keep one thing in mind, that early universe was opaque. And why early universe was opaque? So early universe was opaque because early universe was in plasma state. So if somebody asks you that why early universe was opaque, then you can give answer in one line also. Okay, you can give answer even in word. You can say that So you can say that early universe was just like a soup of hydrogen plasma, and as hydrogen plasma is opaque, so early universe was also opaque, and I have explained you it in very detail that why a matter in plasma state is opaque. Okay, so with this topic is now complete. Now friends, after this what happened that this whole story continues till next 3,80,000 years. Okay, so what happened that this entire story continued in the similar manner for next 3,80,000 years. Now here I want to tell you one thing, that in some books you will even find 3 lakh years. So some book mentions 3 lakh year, some books mention 4 lakh years. Okay, so you don't have to get confused. Okay, so precisely it is 3,80,000 years. Okay, and actually nobody knows the exact thing. Okay, because if we are talking of 3.7 billion years, okay, if we are talking of 3.7 billion years, then a time period of 3,80,000 years is just like a second. Okay, it is even smaller than a second if we will compare it with 3.7 billion years. Okay, so nobody can tell you the precise thing, but 3,80,000 years is mostly accepted. Okay, so what happened that this story continued for next 3,80,000 years. Now friends, what happened after 3,80,000 years? That the temperature of universe was dropped. Okay, temperature of the universe was considerably dropped, and now universe was relatively a cool place. Okay, so what happened that the temperature of the universe considerably dropped, and now universe was a cool place. Okay, and friends, as the temperature dropped, so what happened that now it was easy for the electrons to combine with the hydrogen nucleus. Okay, so now it was very easy for the electrons to combine with hydrogen nucleus. Why? Because as the temperature dropped, so the energy associated with the electrons also dropped. Okay, so it is a very simple logic that as the temperature dropped, so the energy associated with the electrons also dropped. So what happened that now it was very easy for the electrons to combine with the hydrogen atoms. And what happened friends, that electrons combined with the hydrogen atoms. And now as you can see that what is this is positive and this electron is negative. So now the neutral atoms formed. What happened that the neutral atoms formed. So the major event which happened after 3,80,000 years was the formation of neutral atoms. So the neutral hydrogen and neutral helium atoms formed after 3,18,000 years after the Big Bang. Okay, so what happened after 3,80,000 years after Big Bang? So the temperature dropped, and due to the cooling of universe, what happened that the energy associated with the electrons also decreased. And as the energy associated with the electrons decreased, so what happened that these electrons get combined with the hydrogen nucleus, okay, as well as helium nucleus. Okay, so when these electrons get combined with the hydrogen and helium nucleus, so what we get is a neutral atom. So what happened that after 3,80,000 years after Big Bang, neutral atom formed. Now friends, the formation of neutral atoms was a very big achievement for the universe. Okay, now I want you all to give answer to this question, that why it was a big achievement, why the formation of neutral atoms was a very big achievement for the universe. So please pause the video for next 2 minutes and try to find the answer to this question. Okay, I do these type of assignments to you because I want you to develop your analytical skills, to develop your thinking skills, because without analytical skills and thinking skills, it becomes very difficult to crack the IAS exam. So if you really want to crack the IAS exam, then you have to develop your thinking, you have to develop your analytical skills, you have to analyze the topics, you have to think. Okay, so please pause the video for next 2 minutes and just think that what happened. Just think that what was the advantage of neutral atoms to the universe. So friends, as the neutral atoms of hydrogen and helium were formed, so what happened that, just think that what happened that now all the electrons were actually combined with either hydrogen atoms or helium atoms. Okay, so earlier what was the case, that all the electrons were freely moving in the universe. Moreover, there were H positive, okay, means positively charged nucleus of hydrogen and helium. Okay, but what happened after 3,80,000 years, that these electrons get combined with hydrogen nucleus and helium nucleus. So what was the advantage? So the advantage was that now there were no free electrons. Why? Because all the electrons were actually occupied by the nucleus. All the electrons were actually combined with the nucleus. So there were no free electrons. Okay, and now what is the advantage of this situation? So if there is no free electrons, so when there were no free electrons, so what was there? So there was neutral hydrogen atoms and helium atoms. Okay, so what was there? There was hydrogen atoms. So let's suppose this is universe. So there were hydrogen atoms as well as there were helium atoms. Okay, now friends, let's suppose now a photon particle, this is a photon particle. Now this photon particle wants to travel. Okay, now I have told you that it is the fundamental property of the charged particles. Okay, for example electrons, that they interact with the photon, that they interact with the light. Okay, so now as there are no more electrons free, now there are no more free electrons, so now there is no one to interact with these photon particles. So now these photon particles were able to travel freely in the universe. What happened? That now these photon particles or the light was able to freely travel in the universe, and what became? That universe became transparent. Okay, so what happened? That universe became transparent. Transparent means if you can see across something. Okay, transparent means a medium through which a object through which light can freely travel. Okay, so what happened? That universe became transparent after 3,80,000 years. So this is the very basic significance of this number 3,80,000 years after Big Bang. So what happened after 3,80,000 years after Big Bang? That the neutral atoms of hydrogen and helium were formed, and due to the formation of the neutral atoms of hydrogen and helium, what happened? That now there were no free electrons, and due to the absence of free electrons, what happened? That now photon particles means the light was actually able to freely travel throughout the universe, and universe became transparent. Okay, now friends, as the universe became transparent, so universe also got its first light. Okay, so what happened? That now universe became transparent, so now universe got its first light. Now what is the name of this first light? So this first light is known as CMWBR. Okay, now what is CMWBR? So CMWBR means cosmic microwave background radiation. Okay, what is its full form? It is cosmic microwave background radiation. So this was the name of first light which actually shined in the universe. Okay, so what happened? That with the formation of neutral atoms, now there were no free electrons, means now there was no more scattering of the light. So now universe got its first light, and that first light was CMWBR. That first light was cosmic microwave background radiation. Now friends, then our next question is that what happened after this? Okay, so what happened next? So now what is our question? So our question is what happened next? So let's see. So friends, let's suppose that this is universe. Okay, what is this? This is universe. Now friends, I have told you that the gaseous that what happened, that the neutral atoms of hydrogen and helium formed. Okay, and definitely hydrogen was more in number. The amount of hydrogen was more than the amount of helium. So earlier this hydrogen was in plasma state, but now as the neutral atoms of hydrogen were formed, so now this hydrogen was in gaseous state. Okay, so now the hydrogen and helium were in gaseous state, means they were gases. Okay, so now what was hydrogen and helium? They were gases. Okay, now friends, this hydrogen gas was actually spread all over the universe. Okay, so let's suppose that this is hydrogen which I am drawing. So this hydrogen gas, or we can also say the gaseous cloud of hydrogen. So this gaseous cloud of hydrogen was spreaded in the entire universe. It was spreaded in the entire universe. But there was a twist. Now what was that twist? The twist was that the distribution of hydrogen gas, the distribution of matter was not uniform in the early universe. The distribution of matter as well as energy was not uniform in the universe. For example, friends, somewhere what happened that the gaseous cloud of hydrogen was very dense. Okay, what happened? That the gaseous cloud of hydrogen was very dense. but somewhere what happened that the gaseous cloud of hydrogen was very thin. Okay, so let's suppose that this is the dense cloud of hydrogen and this is the thin cloud of hydrogen. Let's suppose again this is a dense cloud of hydrogen. Okay, so what I want to explain you that there were the differences in the density. There were the differences in the density of matter. There were the differences in the density of matter. Means that somewhere what happened that somewhere the hydrogen gas, the cloud of hydrogen were very dense, and somewhere the clouds of hydrogen were very rare. Okay, means they were very thin. So friends, if you see this diagram, then if we assume that this our entire screen is universe, then you can see that somewhere what happened that the density of hydrogen gas was very high. As you can see that this is a very dense region. The density of hydrogen gas, the density of hydrogen cloud was very high. Here also you can see that the density of hydrogen gas is high. Here also you can see that the density of hydrogen is high. Again here also the density of hydrogen is high. But in other places of the universe you can also see that the density of the hydrogen was very less. Okay, means there were very thin clouds of hydrogen. For example, as you can see here, as you can see that this is a very thin cloud. This is again the density is very low. Here again the density is very low. Here again the density is very low. Here again the density is very low. So what I want to explain you is that in the universe the density of the matter. Now what was matter? So definitely the gaseous hydrogen and helium were the matter at that point of time. Okay, so the density of matter means the density of gaseous hydrogen and helium was not uniform in the universe. There were the differences in the density in the universe. Somewhere the clouds of hydrogen were very dense and somewhere the clouds of hydrogen were not that dense, means they were very thin. Okay, somewhere clouds were very thin and somewhere clouds were very dense. Now friends, as you can see that this cloud of hydrogen is very dense. Okay, means the mass is very high in this cloud of hydrogen. Okay, so the mass of hydrogen is very high in this cloud of hydrogen. Now we know that friends that the gravitational force is that force which comes into play by the virtue of mass. Okay, or in simple words we can say that gravitational force is directly proportional to mass. Means if the mass of the object will increase, then the gravitational force in that object will also increase. Okay, so gravitational is a force which comes into play, which comes into existence by the virtue of mass. Okay, and gravitational force is directly proportional to mass, or in simple words we can say that if the mass of an object will increase, then the gravitational pull of that object will also increase, then the gravitational force of that object will also increase. Now here we can see that two type of regions developed in the universe. The regions which were rarer means the regions which were thin, and the regions which were the dense clouds of hydrogen. Okay, so now as this is the dense, okay, so let me draw it more clearly. Okay, so let's suppose so friends, as you can see that this is a dense cloud of hydrogen. Okay, so this is a dense cloud of hydrogen. So as this is a dense cloud of hydrogen, so what will happen? Now friends, these clouds of hydrogen were really very big. Okay, so these clouds of hydrogen were very big, and these clouds were known as nebula. Okay, so what is the name of these clouds? So the name of these denser clouds of hydrogen was nebula. Okay, so from now onwards I will call it nebula. Okay, so what is this nebula and what is the meaning of nebula? So nebula means a big dense cloud of hydrogen. What is nebula? Nebula means a big dense cloud of hydrogen. So friends, as the mass of this nebula was very high, okay, so the mass of this nebula was very high, and due to high mass, what happened? Gravitational force came into play, and gravitational force of attraction hold that entire nebula together. Okay, so what happened? That gravitational force hold that entire nebula together. Okay, now friends, as we know that the gravitational force is a very strong force. So now this nebula will also exert the gravitational pull, okay, outside its own periphery. Okay, so what will happen? That this nebula will draw the other clouds of hydrogen towards itself. Okay, so for example, due to gravitational pull, what will happen? That this nebula will attract these thin clouds of hydrogen, these thin clouds of hydrogen towards itself. And what will happen that with time, what will happen that this nebula will become more and more big. This nebula will become bigger and bigger. Why this nebula will become bigger? So this nebula will become bigger because first of all this nebula was very big, okay, and the mass of this nebula was very high, okay. So as the mass of this nebula was very high, so what happened that the gravitational force of attraction of this nebula was very strong. The gravitation of this nebula was very strong. So as the gravitation of this nebula was very strong, so what happened that first of all that gravitational force hold that entire nebula together, okay. Then that gravitational force also pulled the other smaller clouds of hydrogen towards it, okay. And as these other smaller clouds of hydrogen also mixed with that nebula, so now this nebula become more bigger. And friends, what happened that with time these nebulas were actually converted into galaxies, okay. So what happened that all these nebulas became galaxies. And I have also told you that what happened that there were thin clouds of hydrogen, okay, there were thin areas also. And what happened that the nebula attracted these thin clouds of hydrogen towards itself, okay. So the nebula attracted the thin clouds of hydrogen towards itself, and this nebula become bigger. Now let's suppose this is another nebula, okay, this is another big cloud, this is another nebula, okay. And definitely this nebula will also have its gravitational pull. So this nebula will also pull all the rarer clouds of hydrogen towards itself, okay. So what will happen that these big nebulas, okay, all these big nebulas will become galaxies, okay. All these big nebulas will become galaxies, and the empty space between these nebulas will become the intergalactic space, okay. The space between these galaxies will become the intergalactic space. Okay, so why this space became the intergalactic space? Because the gravitational pull of the galaxies, the gravitational pull of the nebula was so strong that it pulled the thinner clouds of hydrogen towards itself. Okay, so as this nebula pulled the thinner clouds of hydrogen towards itself and it became bigger, so similarly other nebulas also did the same. Other nebulas also attracted the thinner clouds of hydrogen towards itself, and in this way what happened that many galaxies developed in the universe. Developed in the universe, and the space, okay, and the space between these galaxies was empty. The space between these galaxies was empty, and this space is known as intergalactic space. And friends, what happened that in this way galaxies were formed, okay. So now I hope that you all must be very clear with the story of the formation of galaxies. So how galaxies were formed? So in the universe the distribution of matter was not uniform. In the universe somewhere there was denser and somewhere the cloud of hydrogens were thinner, okay. So the denser clouds of what happened that the denser clouds of hydrogen, okay, so denser clouds of hydrogen had more mass, and due to more mass they had more gravitation, and due to more gravitation what happened that these denser clouds of hydrogen became bigger and bigger. These denser clouds of hydrogen became bigger and bigger, and this type of big dense cloud of hydrogen is known as nebula, okay. So the big dense cloud of hydrogen is known as nebula, and later on in the time these nebulas turned into galaxies. What happened that these nebulas became the galaxies. Now friends, on the screen you are seeing a diagram of galactic nebula. Galactic nebula means the nebula which formed the galaxies. So the nebula means a gaseous cloud of hydrogen. So what is the basic meaning of nebula? So nebula means a gaseous cloud of hydrogen. And what is galactic nebula? So galactic nebula means the gaseous cloud of hydrogen which formed the galaxies. Now friends, let's suppose that this is a galactic nebula. Now what happened within galactic nebula, and what was there in galactic nebula? So in galactic nebula there was all around gaseous hydrogen, okay. So this is gaseous hydrogen in the galactic nebula. Now friends, what happened in galactic nebula? Okay, what happened in galactic nebula? Now friends, same story was repeated in galactic nebula also. Means somewhere this galactic nebula was very dense, and somewhere this galactic nebula was very thin. Okay, so what happened that this galactic nebula was a very big cloud of gaseous hydrogen. Okay, and later on this galactic nebula turned into galaxies. But what happened inside this galactic nebula, that within this galactic nebula somewhere the gaseous hydrogen was very dense. Okay, as you can see that this is a very dense, and somewhere it was very rare. Okay, so what happened that somewhere the gaseous hydrogen was very dense, as you can see in the diagram, and somewhere the gaseous hydrogen was very thin. Okay, so somewhere there were the thin clouds, and somewhere somewhere the gaseous hydrogen was very dense. Okay, so what happened inside galactic nebula, that inside galactic nebula somewhere the gaseous hydrogen was very dense, somewhere the gaseous hydrogen was very dense, and somewhere there were only the thin cloud of gaseous hydrogen. Now friends, these local dense cloud of hydrogen are known as stellar nebula. Okay, so what are these? These are known as stellar nebula. Okay, so these dense cloud of hydrogen within galactic nebula are known as stellar nebula. Now what is the meaning of stellar nebula? So stellar nebula means the nebula which later on formed the stars. Okay, so what is the meaning of stellar nebula? So stellar nebula means the gaseous hydrogen which later on formed the star. Okay, so what happened friends, that later on this galactic nebula, okay, as the time passed, this galactic nebula converted into galaxies, and these localized dense region of hydrogen, okay, means this stellar nebula became the stars. Now friends, here in this diagram you can see that this is galactic nebula and this is a stellar nebula, and now you know that what is galactic nebula and what is stellar nebula. Now friends, I have already explained you that galactic nebula was a dense cloud of hydrogen. It was a very big dense cloud of hydrogen. Now what was stellar nebula? So stellar nebula was even more denser. Stellar nebula was even more denser than the galactic nebula. So friends, in the beginning I have explained you that if the mass will increase, if the mass will increase, then what will happen? Gravitational force of attraction will also increase. Okay, so what happened, that this galactic nebula had a good amount of gravitational force of attraction, and that gravitational force of attraction hold that entire nebula together. But imagine the amount of gravitation in this stellar nebula. The density of this stellar nebula was very high as compared to the galactic nebula. So definitely the mass in this localized clump, means the mass in this stellar nebula was also high. Okay, so friends, the gravitational force of attraction in within this stellar nebula was very high. So what happened, that due to its own gravity, this stellar nebula started collapsing. Collapsing means it started going inside. And why it started going inside? Due to gravitation. Why? Because gravitation force pulls. Okay, so what happened, that due to gravitational force of attraction, this stellar nebula started collapsing inside. Okay, and when this stellar nebula started collapsing inside, so what happened? Compression started. Okay, so what happened? That compression started. And friends, it is a general law of physics that if you will compress something, then definitely the temperature of that thing will increase. Okay, so what happened, that the gravitational force of attraction within the stellar nebula was very high, and what happened due to that gravitational force, that the compression started within this stellar nebula. And friends, what happened, the temperature of this stellar nebula increased from minus 170 degrees centigrade to 10 million degrees Celsius. Okay, so what happened, that the temperature of this stellar nebula increased from minus 170 degrees Celsius to 10 million degrees Celsius, and 10 million degrees Celsius is the temperature which is sufficient for the nuclear fusion reaction to take place. Okay, so it is a sufficient temperature for the nuclear fusion reaction to take place. Now what happens in nuclear fusion reaction? So in nuclear fusion reaction, two hydrogen atoms combine together to form the helium atom. Okay, two hydrogen atom combine together to form the helium atom, and in the process it emits a very huge amount of energy. What happens? A huge amount of light and energy is emitted. Okay, so in the process of nuclear fusion reaction, what happens? That two hydrogen atoms combine together to form the helium atom. Okay, and in the process a huge amount of light and energy is released. Okay, and friends, this gave birth to the stars, and the stars and galaxies were born in the universe in this way. So friends, in this way galaxies and stars were born. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, so this is a GIF of Milky Way galaxy, means our own galaxy. Okay, so what happened? That stars took birth and stars started emitting light. Okay, so I told you that what happens in nuclear fusion reaction. So what happens in nuclear fusion reaction? That two hydrogen atoms combine together to form helium atoms. Okay, and in the process a huge amount of light and energy is emitted. So every star emits light and energy due to its nuclear fusion reaction. Okay, so what happened? That the stars were born and galaxies were also born in this way, and our universe was actually lighted up with the light of stars. So friends, that's all for today. I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, then please like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all, and share this channel to all the people you know who are preparing for UPSC. Now we will meet in next class. So friends, till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.